Welcome guys to my new lecture. In this video I will talk about the variables, data types and operators in C programming language. So first of all, like my video, subscribe to my channel, and let's start our lecture. C variables. A variable in C language is the name associated with some memory location to store data of different types. There are many types of variables in C depending on the scope, storage class, lifetime, type of data they store, etc. A variable is the basic building block of a C program that can be used in expression. A variables are containers for storing data values like numbers and characters. In C, there are different types of a variable defined with different keywords. For example, int is an integer. It stores integers. It's a whole numbers without decimals, such as, for example, 1, 2, 3, or -1, -2, -3. Float, it stores floating point numbers with a decimals number, such as, for example, 19.99 or -19.99. We have also char or characters. It stores single characters such as A or B, and the characters are surrounded by a single quotes, like here A and B. The character can be a small character or a capital character, and we can put also another characters like the hashtag, add, etc. Now, how to declare or create a variable. To create a variable, specify the type and assign a value. This is the syntax. First, we have a definition, data type, and the variable name, and we have the initialization, it's the value. Data type, variable name equal value defines a single variable, but we can define a multiple variable. We put the data type, integer, character, float, the variable name, for example, x or y, number, name. This is the variable name 1 and the variable name 2. For example, integer x and y. It helps to define a multiple variable. This is how to declare and how to create a variables in C programming language. We need to use this syntax when I need to solve a problems in next video. Now, the C variable declaration. Variable declaration is C tells the compiler about the existence of the variable with the given name and data type. When the variable is declared, compiler automatically allocates the memory for it. The data type, it's a type of data that a variable can store, like an integer, character, float. Variable name is the name of the variable given by the user, and the value assigned to the variable by the user. This is all about the variable declaration. Now, the C variable definition. In the definition of C variable, the compiler allocates some memory and some value to it. A defined variable will contain some random garbage value till it is not initialized. We have an example. Integer var. The integer is the data type. Var is the variable name. Another example, char var2. Char is a data type and var2 is a variable name. Now let's talk about the C variable initialization. Initialization of a variable is the process where the user assigns some meaningful value to the variable. For example, integer var is a variable definition. Var equal 10 is the initialization. I give the var, the variable, a value equal to 10. Or for example, we can write like this, integer var and another line var equal to 10, or we can write like this, integer var equal to 10. We can put equal 10 here. We can put it in another line. Now let's see the rules for naming a variable in C language. You can assign any name to the variable as long as it follows the following rules. 1. A variable name must only contain alphabets or digits and underscore. 2. A variable name must start with an alphabet or an underscore only. It cannot start with a digit. Not white space and allowed within the variable name. And 4. A variable name must not be any reserved word or keyword. We need to use this rule when we need to solve a problems and exercise in the next video to see how to initialize and how to define a variable when I write a code. Constants. If you don't want others to change existing variable values, you can use the const keyword. This will declare the variable as a constant, which means unchangeable and read-only. Look at this example. We have const integer mynum equal to 15. Mynum is the variable name, integer is a data type, const is a keyword, 15 is the value of the variable. Mynum will always be 15 mynum equal to 10. It's an error assigned of read-only variable mynum. The variable name cannot be start with a number. Now let's talk about the data type in C programming language. Each variable in C has an associated data type. It specifies the type of data that the variable can store, like integer, character, floating, double, etc. Each data type requires different amount of memory and has some specific operations which can be performed over it. The data type is a collection of data with values having fixed value, means as well as its characteristic. The data type is a collection of data with values having fixed value, meaning as well as a characteristic. Let's see this table. We have three types of data type: primitive data types, user-defined data types, and derived data types. The primitive data type are the most basic data type that are used for representing simple values such as integer, float, character. The user data type are defined by the user himself, and the derived data types, the data types that are derived from the primitive or built-in data types are referred to a derived data type. This is the three types of the data types, and now let's see the data types in C. We have the primary data type, integer, character, floating point, double, and void. The derived data type, function, array, pointer, and reference. And the user-defined data type, class, structure, union, type def, etc. Now let's talk about the basic data types. The data type specifies the size and the type of information the variable will store. In this tutorial, we will focus on the most basic ones. We have the integer. The size of the integer is 2 or 4 bytes. It stores whole number without decimals, like the number 1. Float. The size of the float is 4 bytes. It stores fractional numbers containing one or more decimal for storing 6 to 7 decimal digits, like 1.91 is a float number. Double, the size of the double data type is 8 bytes. It stores a fractional number containing 1 or more decimals. And the size of the character is 1 byte. It stores a single character, letter, number, or a SCCII values, like the capital A. This is the basic data type. Now the basic format specifiers. There are different format specifiers for each data type. Here are some of them. We have the percentage %d and percentage %i is used for integer. Percentage %f and percentage big F is used for the float. Percentage %lf is used for double. Percentage %c for characters and percentage %s for string. This is the basic format specifier that we need to use when we solve the problems and we write the code in C programming language. Now let's talk about the operators in C programming language. An operator in C can be defined as the symbol that help us to perform some specific mathematical or relational, conditional, or logical computation on values and variable. This is the C operator. We have the unary operator, plus plus or minus minus. The binary operator, we have the plus, minus, multiplication, division, modulo, greater than, less than, equal to, not equal to, and or, etc. And the ternary operator. Let's start to talk about the arithmetic operations in C. The arithmetic operator are used to perform arithmetic or mathematical operations on operand. Let's see this table. We have first plus, it adds two numbers, like for example a plus b. Minus, it subtracts right operand from left operand, like a minus b. Multiply two numbers or numeric value, like a times b. Divide, it divides two numeric value, a divided by b. Modulo, it returns the remainder after driving the left operand with the right operand, a modulo b. Plus is a numeral plus used to specify the positive value, plus a, the syntax is plus a. Unary minus, it flips the sign of the value, minus a. Plus plus is an increment, it increases the value of the operand by 1, like a plus plus, and the decrement, it decreases the value of the operand by 1, it's a minus minus. This is the arithmetic and operations in C programming language. Now let's see the relational operators in C. The relational operator in C are used for the comparison of the two operators. Like for example, less than, it returns the value if the left operand is less than the right operand, else it is false. A, like here, A is less than B. Greater than, it returns true if the left operand is greater than the right operand, else it is false, like A greater than B. Less than or equal, it returns true if the left operand is the less than or equal to the right operand, else it is false also. A is less than or equal to B. Greater than or equal to, it returns true if the left operand is greater than or equal to right operand, else it is false. A greater than or equal to B. And equal to, it returns true if the both if both the operand is equal, like A equal to B. And finally, not equal to, it returns true if the both of operand are not equal, like A is not equal to B. Now the logic operator in C. The logic operators are used to combine two or more conditions or the complement of evaluation of the original condition in consideration. Like for example, logical and this is the symbol of and. It returns true if the both the operands are true. For example, A and B. Or returns true if both or any of the operand is true, A or B. Not returns true if the operand is false, not A. This is also the logical operator in C. Now let's solve this small exercise about the variables and operators. Write a program to add two numbers. Let's start to write the code. First, all the C program start with hashtag include stdio.h and integer main. All the C program start with this, include stdio and integer main. Now first, let's define two number. I need to add two number. Let's define two number. We need to put the integer, the data type is an integer, and the name of the value is number 1 and number 2. Integer number 1, integer number 2. Here I need to add two number, I need to use this sum. I need to define this sum and integer sum. Now let's tell the user to give me two number. I need to use the printf enter first number. And the line is end with the semicolon. Printf enter the first number is the output. Now scanf, here the user will give me the first number, percentage d and number 1. In this two line, I tell the user to give me the first number, percentage d, because here I need to work with an integer. Now let's tell him to give me the second number, also printf enter the second number, scanf also percentage d and number 2. And the line ends with a semicolon. Now the user was entered the number 1, number 2, and now I need to calculate the sum of this number of these numbers. Sum is equal to number 1 plus number 2. This is the formula of the sum. Number 1 plus number 2. And now I need to print the value of the sum on the screen. I need to use the printf function. Sum of the number 1 and number 2 is equal to, also we have an integer, equal to the result is an integer also, number 1, number 2, and sum. And finally our code is end with a return 0. This is a small exercise to write a program to add two numbers. In this program I use the variable name, the operators, and how to declare and a variable, and how to calculate the sum. That's all for today. Thank you for watching, and contact me on Instagram if you have any question, and I see you in next lecture.